You're on.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the Bible reading. I hope you guys are having a good day. You want to follow along, babe? Maybe go get your Bible. Sit down, we'll wait on you. You should
I
already
don't want to.
but you
today.
should already be in the right place.
Why is her?
Okay. Do you prefer heat or cold? Do you prefer cold packs or heat? You should put that in a baggie. There's a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer for a little bit. I got Sherm this, I'm getting me one next month. Have you guys ever heard of Warmies? You know, Warm and IES, Warmies. You can get it on their website, they have their own, or you look around, you can find them on eBay and everywhere. But I got Sherm the mask that goes over your eyes, and you know, like a sleeping mask. And they got like heavy, like compression beads in them. And they also, does it feel like beads? Yeah, heavy compression beads. And then you can either put it in the freezer to get it cold, or you can warm it up in the microwave. And they got like a lavender scent in it. I looked at all the reviews and everybody loved it. I got it for him because he's been having really, really bad headaches and his eyes are hurting really bad from it. And I have migraines really bad, so I'm going to get me one next month. I might get my niece one because she has migraines bad too, and she don't know nothing about these, so her birthday was this month. Okay, but I just wanted to update you guys on that while I was talking to Sherm about, so you'd know what I was talking about there. Okay, so today we're going to be reading Mark chapter 14, verses 53 through 72, Psalm 53, and Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Okay, so remember in Mark yesterday, we went and talked about Jesus being arrested and all the disciples fleeing, leaving Jesus alone. But Peter is following at a distance because he wanted to see what was going to happen. But nobody's seen him, you know. But remember, Jesus told Peter, before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me. By the time the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. And Peter's like, no, I will die for you. Let's see what happens. Like I said, they just didn't crucify Jesus, but they tortured him first. You'll see some of the stuff they said and done to him today. And then we're going to read Jesus before the Sanhedrin, and Peter disowns Jesus. So yes, you know he did now, but let's get into it and you'll see. They took Jesus to the high priest, which was Papias that year. And all the chief priests, the elders, and the teachers of the law came together. Peter followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself at the fire. They didn't know who he was. The chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death. But they did not find any. So what do you think they done? You know, being God-fearing men and being the priests and things of the people, you know, representing God for them on earth, you know, teaching them, supposed to be teaching them about God. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. They had people put up false testimony about Jesus so that they could have the right to crucify him. And some people did, but their statements didn't make sense. They contradicted one another, so they didn't stand. Then some stood up and gave false testimony against him. We heard him say, they said, I will destroy this temple made with human hands, and in 3 days will build another, not made with human hands. Yet even then their testimony did not agree. Jesus did say he would destroy the temple, and in 3 days it would be built again, you know. But he was not talking about the church, the temple that they had there. the temple they go into, like churches here. He was not talking about the building. He was talking about his body, because your body is your temple. It's God's temple, your body. That's Jesus saying, human hands built it. Okay? He was born of Mary. She's a woman, human. Okay? And in 3 days, they will put him to death, and in 3 days, he will rise again. But this time, they won't be able to kill him. That's what he was meaning. But of course, their hearts were hard, and they didn't understand. Okay. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. Again, the high priest asked him, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" If he would have said yes, they would not have believed him. "I am," said Jesus. He told them. Now what do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to bow down to him now? "And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his clothes. "Why do we need any more witnesses?" he asked. "You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" They all condemned him worthy of death. Then some began to spit at him. Yeah, they spit on Jesus. They blindfolded him, struck him with their fists, and said, "Prophesy." And the guards took him and beat him. They mocked him. They made fun of him. Like a bully would in school, picking on a younger, weaker person. That's what they did to Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus was weak. Jesus was not weak. Jesus is the Son of God. He could have put a stop to it right then and there if he wanted to. But he knew he was going through this for all of us. Even for them, if they would have changed. Even for them. While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked closely at him. She's like, "I think I've seen him before." "You also were with that Nazarene, Jesus," she said. But he denied it. Peter denied it. That's once. Remember what Jesus said? "I don't know or understand what you're talking about," Peter said, and went out into the entryway. When the servant girl saw him there, she said again to those standing around, the guards and people around the fire, "This fellow," pointing at Peter, "he's one of them." And he denied it again, twice. After a little while, those standing near said to Peter, Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." He began to call down curses, and he swore to them, "I don't know this man you're talking about." Immediately, the rooster crowed the second time. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken to him. "Before the rooster crows twice, you will disown me 3 times. And he broke down and wept. He did. He wept bitterly. Could you imagine Jesus standing in the entryway, looking at Peter, and Peter looking at Jesus after he said that, and the rooster crowed? Peter knew what he did. He truly loved Jesus. He truly believed he was the Son of God. He loved him. He was his brother. his friend, his brother. They were together every day, him and the disciples. And he was close with Peter, James, and John. And Peter went and wept bitterly. But do you think Jesus hated him and cursed him for it? He still had work for Peter to do. He still loved Peter. His love never ceased. It never stopped. He already knew what Peter was going to do. He told Peter what he was going to do before it happened. At the Last Supper, remember? He never once stopped loving Peter, not even a teardrop amount full. Not at all. And he had already forgave him before he done it. He knew Peter was just scared. And you can't say what you would have done in that situation. People will say, well, I wouldn't have done that if I was there. I would have stood up and defended Jesus. You can say what you want to say, but you shouldn't say anything at all, because you do not know how you yourself would truly act until you are right there in that same situation. It's easy to say something, but it's harder to do it. And Peter was just terrified. He was terrified, is what I think. You know he was. But he knew he felt bad because he knew what he had done. Okay, so that's where we're stopping with Mark today. And now we are going to be reading Psalm 53, the whole psalm, for the director of music, according to Malith, a Maskil of David. No ice in there, won't it? My straw won't go down there. Okay. It only has 6 verses. Dave, what are you doing? Why don't you come in here and sit down? The fool says in his heart, there is no God. That'd have to be a fool to say that, right? That's a perfect first line. A very perfect first line, David. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, and their ways are vile. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on all mankind. If he looked down today, would he see you doing good? Would he see you doing bad? Would he be proud of you? Think about that every day. If God came back today, if he looked down from heaven, which he always is, you can't see him, but he is. God's looking down on you from heaven every day. You look and say, today, I'll make God proud. Will God be proud of me today, or will he be disappointed? Tomorrow is always another day to do better than you did yesterday. God looks down from heaven on all mankind to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. Everyone has turned away. All have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Do all these evildoers know nothing? They're losing their souls. Their souls are going to go to hell for eternity. A lot of these people don't believe it. They think heaven and hell is just a joke. Just something somebody made up. I don't want those people to go to hell. I want those people to go to heaven. You should not want anybody to go to hell. Hell is not a place you'd want your worst enemy to go. Pray for them if you know somebody who doesn't know the Lord. Pray hard for them. Those are the people that need prayers the most. Do these evildoers know nothing? They devour my people as though eating bread. They never call on God, but there they are, overwhelmed with dread. They never call on God, but there they are, overwhelmed with dread, where there was nothing to dread. God scattered the bones of those who attacked you. You put them to shame, for God despised them. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion. You know the Lord loves Zion. You hear that many times in the Bible. When God restores his people, let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. Amen. And let's let God find everyone doing good on earth when he looks down. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be great. Help as many people as you can to know the Lord. That's the greatest thing on this earth that you can do. Try to bring those souls to Jesus and help your fellow brothers and sisters. Wealth, Proverbs chapter 11:4. Wealth is worthless in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivers from death. That's pretty much saying wealth. If you could be the richest person in the world, you could be the president of the United States, you can be a king, you can be a billionaire, whatever. All your money will not buy you to heaven. You cannot buy or pay off Jesus and God. Money means nothing to them. You can't take and spend money in heaven. The only thing that matters to them is your soul. Your soul. And that is only in your hands, because you're the only one that can turn your life to God or not turn your life to God and change. And not change. That's up to you. So no one can lose their soul unless they lose it themselves. And then the day of wrath, if we all make it to the end of the world, because we don't know when that's going to be, when Jesus comes back or when you pass away, but then it's too late. And you can cry to the Lord and beg all you want, but it will not matter. Jesus will say, I don't know you. Away from me, you evildoer. And you'll be cast into hell for eternity. And you want your loved ones to see that. You want them to know that. You know how much that would tear them up. Please don't think it's a joke about heaven and hell, because it's not. And we do not want you to find out the hard way, because then it'll be too late for you. You're like, oh, I don't want to believe it. People will make fun of me, you know. They'll think I'm weak or whatever. No, you're not weak. You're strong. Worry about your soul. And when you're right with God, you can try to help them who you think will make fun of you for doing it. You can help try to bring their soul to Jesus. Right? Because those people like that are the ones, they need prayers the most. They need us to pray for them. They need brought to the Lord. Okay, guys. So that was everything for our Bible reading today. I hope it touched your hearts. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Sure was brushing his hair and like go to sleep brushing.
I was.
He can go to sleep like that anywhere. Anywhere. I can't. It takes forever for me to get to sleep when I go to bed. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus. And God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. Bye guys. God bless.